welcome to Inside Personal Growth Podcast. Deep dive with us as we unlock the secrets to personal development, empowering you to thrive. Here, growth isn't just a goal, it's a journey. Tune in, transform, and take your life to the next level by listening to just one of our podcasts. Welcome back to Inside Personal Growth. This is Greg Voisen, the host of Inside Personal Growth. And joining me, actually from Dubai, but normally from Lebanon, is Sheryn. And I want you to pronounce your last name so that I don't mess it up. I was going to say Knaider.
Knaider. It's
Knaider.
A very Knaider, yes.
Knaider, but it's Knaider. And for all of my listeners, you can go out to her website. It's Sheryn, and she spells her first name a little bit differently too. SherynKnaider.com. And we're going to be talking about her new book, and we want to hold that up, Sheryn, called The Hummus Strategy. And there it is. And Sheryn is somebody that I actually found out. She did a post on LinkedIn, and I reached out to her about being on the show. So good day to you. Thank you for being on the show. You can put the book down now. That'd be good. And I'm going to let everybody know a little bit about you. She's renowned international as a speaker, consultant, and author. She specializes in creative and problem-solving strategies through the application of applied neuroscience. She's a licensed instructor in mind mapping. We were just talking about Chris Griffiths, who is the owner of AOA Software, and her history that she had with Tony Busan. She's in the memory techniques and lateral thinking, bringing a unique and innovative approach to her field. She's really faced a lot of challenges in her life, and we're going to be getting into some of that as a result of the book. And she also looks for new ways to express herself in her public speaking. So she is joining us from Dubai today because of the conditions that are currently present in Lebanon and the war. We're now talking, it is now what is today, the 24th of September, 2024. So good day to you, Sheryn. How are you despite all of the challenges that you've been facing in Lebanon and so on?
First of all, thank you, Greg, for this opportunity, immense opportunity for me to speak on your channel. This is first. Guys, sorry, I do speak English. It's my third language. So be patient. I might sometimes find my words. How am I? Greg, it's been not 29, not 39, but 49 years that we are living war. So it's overwhelming, and I was about to get out of the country by miracle, we can say. So it is very heavy, but no one can relate to that. So I'm not going to too much talk about it. Just be grateful every single day in the morning, and just be grateful. We are here.
So to you, definitely.
Yes.
The thing is that if anyone wants to go to her LinkedIn page, we'll put a link to it, and you will actually see some of her windows shaking because of the bombing. And I actually commented on that this morning, because the people who are living in kind of the free world and without this, they don't really realize what anxiety this actually creates. And in your book, The Hummus Strategy, you certainly have been through so much, Sheryn, and you're welcome to tell your story, and I'd love to know more about it. But it's really about resilience and transformation. And, as a public speaker and as a writer, how does your personal journey reflect, in this case, kind of the protagonist evolution, and what specific adversities in your life, because you've had so many, you lost your father, you've opened up restaurants, you've been through so much, you've had children, you decided to be a mom instead of, choosing other things. What's inspired kind of these narratives in your life? What do you think it is in particular? And if you would, who, because we're talking about this personal element, has been most influential in your life?
Okay, I'm going to start with the last question because there's many questions there. I was 8 years old when the war started in Lebanon. I had the first gun in my hand at 8 years old. So before 8, I don't remember anything. What I can tell you, the most important person after God, I'm Christian, okay, God, my father, and myself. I lost my father when I was 17. He was my rock, my pillar, my whatever you want. We used to do these. He was a very philosophical person. He used to speak 7, 8 languages. I speak 5, so we were dumb in front of him. So my father was this very open-minded, not at all religious, not at all fanatic, very open-minded. And he told me what he could. He passed away when he was only 59 years old by a heart attack. So I think I am, this Hummus Strategy book is about me trying to help other people in a way which I don't talk about myself, okay? I took the story of a man called Salim that loses everything, and I put him in another country. I do it on purpose, just to tell you guys that adversity is one way to get out of your comfort zone. So whatever happens to you, this is what I put on my website. What if your problem is the next opportunity of your life?
So how do you believe adversity, and in particular adversity, because you've been through so much, uniquely equips individuals to find opportunities? And what specific strategies can you draw on from the book that you would like to relate to our listeners today? Because everybody can look at adversity with a different perspective or a different lens. And I always know that when things are uncertain, right, like they are kind of for you right now, on the other side of uncertainty is always opportunity.
Yes.
But you have to be willing to go through the uncertainty to find the opportunity. So can you reflect on us and draw on some of the specific strategies you might be giving people from the book?
Look, in the book is divided in 2 sections. The first section, which is very nice, is a story. Small chapters, small lesson, 26 lessons. And then you have the formula, the equation. It's really equation, huh? And where there I go through on details. The first thing I can tell you, I lived in so many countries, the Middle East, Europe, whatsoever.
France, you are all over.
Italy, Geneva, bref. What I've noticed...
Did I read you had an Italian restaurant at one point too?
We have a lot of Italian restaurants. I even called Italian, and anyway. So I noticed one thing. In France, in Paris, you stay here and you wait for the bus. If the bus is 2 or 3 minutes late, they start nagging. They start lingering about their, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 and blah, blah. Oh my God. Come to us. We have no buses. We have no electricity. If we have electricity, is 1.5 hours a day. We are blessed because we have electricity 1.5 hours a day. So that makes of us people who only see the good things about life. Because the bad thing is when I am down and I'm dead. That is the bad thing. Or I lost somebody in my family, and despite that, I will find the strength to go because I'm still alive. God gave me this faculty to be alive. So I have to help others. So think about it. If you wake up every single day, this is neuroscience, saying to yourself, oh, damn it, you know what a horrible day I'm going to have. My husband, my kids, my friends, da-da-dee, da-da-da. Well, neuroscience tells you he will go, your subconscious, gets you all the negative thoughts of your life and push them here. Then you go to the shower and you say, you see, The water is not warm. Oh, what a day. And you start arguing. Okay, this is scenario number 1. So we know that when you think negative things are going to happen to you. What
Definitely.
if scenario number 2, you wake up in the morning, you just, touch yourself and okay, nothing is missing. Nothing is missing, and it's true. And then you smile. I do meditation. I sit and do meditation. Okay. And I smile because I know I'm going to have a good coffee. Good coffee means a white pebble on the sand. It's super. And then I listen to a nice music, another white pebble. And throughout the day, okay, somebody called you and pissed you off. Okay. That deserves a black pebble. But throughout the day, if you look and you will see a lot of white pebbles, white action, which are good actions in life. But we humans now, we only linger and we focus on the bad things. So think of your life. Where are you standing? Are you in prison? Are you in Gaza? Are you in Ukraine? No, we are not. 90% of the people are living good and they have electricity and they have food. So take that as a blessing and try to help others. Believe me, more you are poor, more you give. More you rich, less you give.
I heard a statistic just from a Bill Gates, we don't call it, he works with malnutrition, malaria. He's trying to do a lot of different things. And whether you like him or not, statistically, the documentary was saying 90% of the world is living on $7 a day. $7 a day, right? And I just want to put that in perspective for people, especially the ones here in the United States, where we have such abundance, such an oversupply of almost everything, that, much of the world's population is at poverty level. And there's still, in adversity, you want to talk about adversity, still able to love and be in community. Talk about community and what critical role this is in the book, and how does community support what influences your personal transformation? Because before you came on, you said, look, it's really about everybody's on the internet. We're not being as personable as we could be. We aren't able to connect. We're not doing what we're doing. The role of community in Lebanon must be extremely valuable, especially in strong times of adversity and war and so on. But even not, I think the Lebanese people, from the ones that I've known besides you, are very gracious, very vivacious, outgoing. They seem to want to connect. Tell us a little bit more how this community helped you as a person, Sheryn.
Okay. One small example of adversity and about community. Community is energy. Think of community as being energy. Community is about the environment, right? People who are around you, family, friends, neighbors, building, office, whatsoever. This is the energy you are. If you are with people who are connected on their cell phones and don't say hello, by the end of the day, you get depressed. Okay? Let's be honest. Back in the 80s, because I was in the 80s, we had no cell phones, we had no satellites, we had no drones. We used to go outside and play in the, and stand, and we were happy. And then we have to come home, wash our hands, but we were happy. We were happy with very simple things. About community, if, for example, you tell me I don't have a community, I just moved to a new town. Fine, a new town, okay? You are 40, 50, 20, the age is not an issue. People think that they will be rejected, whereas imagine you want to learn a new language, French. Okay, let's say this, French. You decided to learn French. So you go to a course that teaches you French. You will start being interested by French culture. And then there you will meet new people. So you have interaction with new people. It can be a language, it can be music, it can be crafting, it can be anything. It can be your religion, it can be, who knows, the building. I don't know. But what I know is when the 4th of August 2020, I don't know if you remember the biggest explosion in the world after Hiroshima and Nagasaki in the port of Beirut that completely demolished in few seconds the whole town, the government didn't help. No one did. No one. Who helped?
The people. They came
The people
together.
who were there injured or lost their own people. Hand by hand, these fragile people created a community from nothing. Like, I am a carpenter. You don't have a window anymore. I'll come and change the window. You do the same with the glass and whatsoever. This is what happened. So basically, what I mean by that, it's super important in the Maslow
Hierarchy
tribe
of need.
is community. You can have all the money of your life. You can have 100,000 people following you, and you are there alone, Greg, alone. So let's go back to reset some things. And what I found amazing is I like laughing. I do stand-up comedy, okay? And what I find amazing is I'm a professional speaker. I'm not a speaker, I'm a professional speaker. And I'm the founding president of the Professional Speaker Association of the MENA and GCC region. So I am a very outgoing person. My father used to tell me something. If you want to be an alpha woman, because we're talking about women in the Middle East, right? Not easy. I'm not veiled. I'm not Muslim. I have a French. I have an Austrian name which looks like Ashkenaz, which I am not Jew. So it's crazy, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. I have everything, but I have nothing. So my father used to tell me, laugh. Humor is the most. Charlie Chaplin said the most common thing in between two strangers is humor, or football, or soccer. Call it whatever you want. But humor is the thing that connects. So I did use a lot of humor in my life, and I found out that everybody likes to laugh. Everybody wants to have a good laugh. Why now stand-up comedians are like, everybody's talking about stand-up comedian. Everybody from Saudi to the States, everybody is stand-up, because it is the place where you meet and you have a good time. In my book, I'm not talking about stand-up and I'm not talking about humor, but this when you are in a community, you see, stand-up is a community. Even stand-up. I met so many different people in the night here in Dubai, because Dubai wakes up at 10 in the morning and sleep at 4 a.m. I sleep at 5 a.m. So, but I found a new community. And there are so many different nationalities. It's amazing. So the first advice I can tell you is go out there. What can happen to you worse? What? Nothing.
Right. Yeah, no. And you talk about, and I don't want to, you say salam. Did I say it right?
Salam. No, we don't say salam. We don't say salam. We say in Arabic, salamu alaykum.
So his name, the anthus in the story,
is Salim.
Salim. Okay, so Salim, you intertwined this. You talked about it a little bit earlier in the book. How do you see this balance between holding on to what you refer to as cultural heritage? You were just talking about it. The various ways you've been influenced as a person with all these things from your father, and not having to wear a veil, and all of the other things that are going on. And embracing change, both in the book and in your personal life. Because look, one thing we know is change is constant. It's steady. But when people resist change, which you haven't, obviously, you've written a great book here, and you're somebody who has lived beyond the adversity and has embraced change. What would you tell people out there today who are dealing with huge changes like you have been to try and embrace them?
Okay. You know this famous quote you have in English? The only constant in life is change? Good.
That's what I just said. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But I will go further. The only constant in life, guys, are problems.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Problems, I'll finish. Problems are only a change of situation. So, if you so in life you will have every day, or not, you will have a sort of problem, challenge, issue, name it. It's not important, it's not relevant, but the thing that comes and disturb your tranquility of the day, you call it a problem, right? You call it stress.
Mm-hmm.
But that new nouvelle donnée, that new thing that happened in your life, it is a new reality. I call it new reality. A challenge is not nothing else than a new reality. You had a reality before, then this problem came, and then you have another reality. If you think that way, if you think that what is happening to me is a lesson somewhere, what can I get out of it? Don't victimize yourself. I mean, who's going to help you? No one will. And believe me, nagging, people hate people who are nagging. But people don't like people who are smiling too.
I've been smiling too much during the podcast because you're so animated. I love you that way. You're perfect. So I have a question for you. You know, we in the book, you delve into the psychology of facing setbacks. So you call it a problem with positive attitude. You're saying, okay, I have a setback, but I want to look at this positive attitude. That's what we've been talking about. What role do you believe that the mindset plays in overcoming life challenges? Because you're somebody who's studied neuroscience. You're a neuroscientist. You just said when you wake up in the morning and you complain, you're programming your subconscious, and that's exactly what you're going to get. So how was it overcome? And can you share your personal mantra or approach for this, if you would? You must have some mantra, because I know when I wake up before my feet hit the bed, or the ground, I do gratitude. I do all these. I'm grateful for the morning. God, thank you for having me wake up this morning and have this day, whatever that may be. And I think a lot of people with just a little bit of gratitude and a mantra could really help them get through the day. What is Sheryn's?
Okay. If I got here doing so many different things in my life, is because I hate being a victim. This is one.
Okay.
And that is super important as a mindset. It is too easy to do the victim. It's too easy. And I hated the fact that people would see me as the small of four. So I have three brothers, male. I was the fourth one. I had to go behind my brother, shoot, motorbikes, everything dangerous. I never said no because I never wanted them to consider me as being the weak person, right? So from that moment, I understood that the mindset does it all. If somebody tells me it is difficult, and I say, you know what, let me try. You will see it's not difficult. This is me. So in the morning, what do? You do gratitude. When I wake up in the morning, I do transcendental meditation.
Good.
I wake up, before doing my transcendentation, there is something that happens at 5:30 in the morning. You don't know why. My mind start hitting ideas, but the best one ever, like during the whole night, we say in French, la nuit porte conseil, the night give you advices, okay? So at 4 in the morning, the first time I wake up, I have the solutions to so many things. It can be for the professional speaking. It can be for my speech. So I have to write down, but I don't write down anymore because I don't recognize my writing. So what I do is I repeat it many times, the idea. I record it. So I have a recording. I record everything.
Very smart.
And then for like half an hour or an hour, boom, 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 it comes.
It floods in.
Oh my God, you have to stop them. Okay, you have to stop them.
Well, I have them, and I know some people who are trying to meditate, they say, well, that's the monkey mind, right? Because that's the term that's used, the monkey mind, because it just goes from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And I tell people, because they want to get beyond that to get into a deep meditation, you have to let that come in. You can't resist it. It's there. It's telling you. You're being informed. You have to believe that it's important. Let it come through. Then just keep deep breathing. And in your case, you're recording it on a tape recorder, it sounds like, that you've got by your bed or wherever you go, which is really good. And I want to get to this because people are probably sitting here now saying, after 20 minutes of listening to us, well, so why is this book called The Hummus Strategy? And you see throughout the story, you said food symbolizes comfort, identity, and resilience. What does the hummus represent to you personally? And I know I want to mention this because you now have created how many recipes in the book?
No, it's not only for hummus. There are
recipes for life.
Nine recipes. Nine recipes.
But I wanted to mention it because for the listeners, in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see that little red thing, and she's actually got that there. So what does this hummus represent to you personally, and why do you choose it as a central metaphor in the book? Why hummus?
Okay.
Because Lebanese people eat a lot of hummus?
Yeah, but no. I'll get to the hummus. Let me just finish. You asked me one question. After one record my thoughts, which are a lot,
right,
and believe me, are the best one in the day, I close my eyes after this boom, boom, this flow of ideas. I close my eyes. I meditate. I know that I will not have them. Even if some ideas come, I just threw them back out because I know that I recorded them. And then I sleep the best ever deep sleep in my life, 20 minutes. When I wake up, as if I slept the whole night, I know my ideas are here. I go shower and then I go to swim. Swimming is the one thing that you're detached from everything. You swim for 2K, 1 hour. You have ideas, but then you have to have a discipline. It can be running, it can be painting, it can be... If you want to have a good attitude in life, you want to be positive, you want to have a good mindset, sorry to tell you, you have to have a discipline. The only thing that kept me out of depression, because I had depression, like everybody, I'm human, from my injuries, from whatever you want, is a very discipline. It's a hygiene of life. And food is the most important thing. If you eat rubbish, I'm not going to name the things you have in the States, these processed food, you're killing yourself. So if you start with non-processed food, if you have a mindset saying, is Sheryn coming from Lebanon? She did it at her age, so many things, and she did it. And without any money or any people helping me, I did it by myself. If I can do it, anyone can. Anyone. And I'm very serious about that. So why hummus in the book? Because it's not only a metaphor. No, it's not. I am actually truly talking of hummus as a story in my book with Salim. Yes. Why did I choose food? Because everybody likes to eat. Why would I choose food in a business book? Everybody told me, you are bold. You are bold. In a business book, you have a story, and then you have a small business, and then in between you have recipes. And at the end, I have a terminology of Arabic, which is fun. And I told them, can you imagine the one thing that everybody is around, apart gossiping? It's food. We need food to live. And hummus, by chance, is something that we not invented, but Lebanon is one of the most. Actually, in my book, I speak about, did you know that we have the biggest record in the world in 2009 about the biggest hummus ever, with a huge plate done by my neighbor who passed away a year ago. He is in the Guinness Book 4 times. It is 10,452 kilos of hummus.
Wow. That's a lot of chickpeas.
Exactly. Anyway, so hummus is, you go to Australia, you go to the States, you go to everywhere. Now they do hummus, which there is not even chickpea inside, which is, it's like the tabbouleh. Our tabbouleh is parsley. Their tabbouleh is something else. Anyway, so hummus, I think, in the story, I explain to you why I use hummus, because if I tell you, then I will spoil the whole book.
All right, we will leave it at that. We'll say that it. So, at this journey that that Salim is taking involves both this, what we call the tangible and the intangible investments in his business. This is a business book, right? And so we want to get to the business side of it, but business is personal. It's very personal. And it's all about your personal growth. And my show is about how people can grow from all these experiences that you've related and how they become more resilient, right? So how do you differentiate between investing in yourself, which is what you've done a lot of, versus your ventures? And why is it important for, I think, people, and you hit this nail on the head, for people to nurture both?
Yes.
Because the reality is, if you don't grow, your business isn't going to grow. It's that simple. But if you grow and you're a constant learner, my show attracts people who are seekers. People are looking to change things in their lives for the better. Those are the people that listen to this show. And they're seeking new ways to do that. Why do you think that this investment in their self and in their venture needs to be both nurtured?
Okay. You know that I'm a coach too and a trainer.
Yeah, I know you are.
I told you I had many lives. I studied baby swimming, handicap in water, everything related to water, because I love water. Because my kids were small and they were 1-2 years and no activity at that age, of course. So I said, why not? I went to Italy, I went to France, and I learned, and I got back with this knowledge. And I like to share. Sharing is super important. So from that to Italian restaurants, to architecture. I was an architect. Can you imagine? When I was in Milano and Paris, stepping into passions, okay, things you like, you would learn something. And you know what? Even if at the end of the day or the experience, you will not become the lawyer because you did 4 years of law, you will always learn something. Me, at my age, after all these years, everything that I did, and so different today, have a reason. It's the puzzle. It's like creating this, for example, I'm telling you, I like to do stand-up comedy. You will tell me, what stand-up comedy doing an architect with food business? Well, guess what? My book is all about that. It's all about mixing all these knowledges. You fulfill yourself as a person, new communities, new people, and you don't know why, but at a certain point, it makes sense. You feel alive. You are discovering new things about you. And then, if you don't become the expert in being a lawyer, one day what you learned will come at your door, and you will be the person that people will come to you. You'll be the expert. So basically, what I would love to say to your community and your listeners is, it's not because somebody told you it's difficult that you will not be able to do it. I was born in the late 60s in the Middle East, a girl, and they told me, you're not a boy, you will not go far. You have to have a fine, nice husband, have a nice marriage, have nice kids. Even if it betrays you, because all men do, keep the husband.
Well, you didn't do that either.
No.
So
I did exactly the opposite. But this is
understand.
it. This is it. If you and I'm gonna tell you something. Social media, they're good at one point, but they destroy your life. You're there trying to survive, trying to get the money, trying to get the contract, and then you swip, and then you see a guy did it like this. I say, okay, I can't do it. So social media in a hand is good, and another one, not so. No,
it's a mixed message. I get that. And I know even me having had a podcast show for 17 years, because you're comparing. I want to move aside the comparison, because we are individual souls on this planet with our own unique DNA. And we're here for a reason and a contribution. And as soon as people get that. Now, the other thing that I would say is, as you were mentioning, is that we have this power inside of us to really kind of overcome all of these things. And I'm looking at all of the stuff you've overcome in your life. And your book, if you want to hold it back up again, I would like to let my listeners know, gives you the strategies, right? And this book, we're going to put a link to it on Amazon for the listeners. There she is. And you can buy it off of Amazon. But Sheryn, what I'd like to know is, after all we've said about hummus and its metaphor and the importance of food, and you being so curious, you're an extremely curious individual. Most entrepreneurs are curious. No, they're looking here, they're looking there, they're looking ways to solve the problem. And I always say this about this one author who was on here about connecting the dots. You know, after you have all these experiences, you have the ability to connect the dots and see into the future, right? You can't initially predict it, but you can see what's potentially coming, and you can prepare yourself. What message do you hope the readers will take away from your character's journey in the Hummus Strategy, especially how they approach their own life's challenges and adversities and anxieties and stresses and opportunities? What do you want the reader to ultimately say, hey, I read this book, and by the way, this is what this gave me?
Okay. You know, in the book, I speak about mental health issues, right? It's all connected. When you have a strong community, you might not have huge issues on a mental health. Why? Community helps you to speak up. When you're alone and you just, think about your problems. We all have problems, guys. We always will. It's the way you see it. Every time I have a problem, I try. For example, I lost all my videos on my phone, all of them, because I tried to take them out from a device, which I had only 64 giga on a line. And I don't know why they disappeared. I have like 10,000 small videos. 10,000. Okay. Is it a problem? Yes. My life. Oh my God. You know what? I didn't say anything to no one. Why? I'm alive. I'm good. I'm fine. I can do new ones. Hell, the other ones. Okay, I will, I don't have any footage of what I did in my life, but it's okay. So you see, it's the way you see it. It's the mindset. What I want people to feel is that, guys, gratitude to everything you do, from the food on the table, to the friends you have, to the parents, if you have them, cherish them, love them, hug them. And I mean, love with a big L and gratitude. That's the only thing I can tell you. And in the book, you will find it. You will find it because the equation to apply. Tomorrow you have a problem. Try to apply the equation, the formula in your life. You will see. And it starts with the A. And that's what I'm going to tell you. Attitude. The attitude you have towards life is, okay, you want to know my quote? I love it. Attitude is your responsibility. Take ownership and don't blame it on others.
You know, there was a famous speaker here in the United States. You probably know him because you're in the speaking community. And his name, and I used to go because I'm old enough to have gone physically and seen him, Zig Ziglar. And he says, it's your attitude that determines your altitude, not your aptitude.
Yeah.
It's your attitude that determines your altitude, not your aptitude. So if attitude is everything, which I would concur with you that it is a big portion. As a matter of fact, some of our bigger employers today, for these kids that are growing up and coming out of college, they're really looking for experiences more than they're actually looking for the degree. They're saying, have you gotten your hands dirty? Have you been a dishwasher? Have you dug in the dirt? Have you done all of these things? I was listening to a billionaire who hires them, and he says, we're hiring people who have the experience, not the ones who just have the pedigree degree from the university. And that's what you're all about, Sheryn. And I really like that and appreciate about that. And again, hold the book back up one last time for our listeners.
And I would like to find a publishing house.
There we go. So this is the Hummus Strategy. And Sheryn, thank you so much for being on with our listeners today. Thank you for everything you've contributed. The energy that you've brought through the Zoom call is infectious. People can see that. They can see why you're such a good public speaker. And I appreciate you sharing your personal story along with some of your stories in the book as well. And I think for our listeners, again, go to the website. It's Sheryn, SherynKnaider.com. There, if you go to the book section, you can actually download a free chapter of the book. There you can learn more about her events. She's got a blog and topics in the home, and you can sign up for the newsletter. She's got a newsletter as well. So right at the top of the website, you'll see that. Sheryn, thank you for your great energy, your history. Yep, go ahead.
One thing, I want to do you a gift to your listeners.
What's the gift?
The gift is, as soon as I come back from Bali, I'm going for Bali for the Summit of Professional Speakers, right? I'm coming back the 6th of October. I will put online 20 minutes of free consultation.
Okay, great.
Anyone who wants to speak, just to if one question or what's 20 minutes, I'm giving them for free. If I can help, I will. And remember, when you have less, you give more. This is what I'm trying to do.
It's about take less, do more. The key is live your life. And I don't say everyone be a minimalist, but look around you and see where you can help other people, whether it's just driving someone home or helping somebody across the street or giving somebody something. I have a nonprofit called Compassionate Communications. We serve the homeless and the Ukrainian refugees. However you can give of yourself, your time, your resources, your money, whatever it is that you have, please do that. There's so many causes out there. Doesn't matter which cause it is, but that would be my ending statement here. And thank you, Namaste to you. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for spending time. Merci beaucoup. Grazie mille. And smile. Life is short.
Thank you for listening to this podcast on Inside Personal Growth. We appreciate your support. And for more information about new podcasts, please go to InsidePersonalGrowth.com or any of your favorite channels to listen to our podcast. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.